Hello! How's it going? How's everybody doing? Fabulous Wednesday evening. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. I hope you all traded very well today. I hope you're all having a great start to July, and I wish you nothing but the best. Without further ado, let's get into some market thoughts, market comments, prep for the day ahead. Half day tomorrow, and then Friday is a day off. So, figured I'd hop on here before the American long weekend. Canadians just had ours. But nonetheless, if anyone's in Investors Underground, I hopped on with Sam Turbo over in Investors Underground yesterday for like a midweek study session. And he reviewed his trades on, BNMR and what was the other one? Wolf, I think it was, yesterday. So he had a couple trades there. I had a ton of trades. I had NVTS, all from the watch list. This failed follow through setup here in the 640s. SRM, that one there under the 720s. I had CoreWeave, which I'm still in. I had, what else? Is it NIBS, maybe? NBIS? Yeah, I tried this one. Took a loss on that one yesterday. Dollar General I stopped out of today. It still held up all right. It did break prior bar lows, which was the trailing stop. I stopped out a bit prematurely, but I bought that breakout. It was up on earnings, flagging, starting to break out through 115.5. I joined that trend yesterday, right here, and it didn't get anywhere, so I took that one off. What else? I traded BMNR today for a gap up into resistance. Don't love it when these multi-day runners have lower volume as they go higher. But I figured it was worth a try. It's up from $4 up to basically 80, I think it tapped. Not quite. 75. It's a monster move. You get one day, starts to ramp. We get this failed follow through level off of 59, fades into close. So I'm thinking all pops should get sold. So I short the pop right off the opening range breakdown. After the opening drive fails, I add through red. It halts down, looking good. Pulls right into prior support, prior bar lows in those 41s, and V-shaped recovery all the way back to stop me out. So I took a full-size loss on that one. Unfortunate, but respect the stop and saved about $10 of it going against me. So it is what it is. Caramel, I have this one. I bought on this day, let it do its thing yesterday, added to that winner today. I'm still in the money on it. Still up, but was wanting to see it build 290s. If you recall the watch list over here from like the 27th or 28th or something like that, I was looking for that break and build 290s, which we got. It pushed, broke out briefly, and now consolidating prior resistance, becoming support. Set a lower high to the breakout level, pulled back, higher low to 290s. I'm adding through this lower high, anticipating this 380s. It double topped there for now, so I will move my stop here up to the 340s so I don't give back everything. But yeah, we will see. It's in that mineral kind of metal sector. You had TMC starting to run here in after hours. That daily went on. Come on. What are we doing here? Come on. What the hell? What's going on? Why won't this load? Well, I guess you'll just have to trust me that it went on a multi-day run, because for some reason this is glitching. We had TMC and MP was the other one. Some of these metal names, precious metals and materials, they've been going on a run. Caramel is in that metals, precious metals space. And this daily looks the best small cap wise, where we get that little cup and handle. So ideally, I'd like to see this over 360s in the morning tomorrow. And I'd still be willing to continue to add through 380s as long as I can move my risk up, keep my dollar risk the same, and get new risk levels. So I'll still hold that one. If it fails tomorrow, I will likely move on. So far, since this bottomed over here, it hasn't broken its prior day's lows, but I don't really want to give it all the way to there, especially after adding where I think it should go at this point. But we will see. DG I went over, Caramel I went over, CoreWeave I went over, SRM I took off today. I had got a nice top hat on it yesterday where I stopped out. So we got this pullback, opening range breakdown, I short, risk off of highs, again, V-shape recovery, I get stopped out, basically dead top. And then it starts to roll over. I'm thinking that's all right. We've bottomed there at 720, so if that inevitably breaks, then I'll get another opportunity to re-enter. We get this little trend. I'm looking at it. As soon as this breaks, boom. I was like, what? What the heck just happened? So I shorted pops, added pops. I rescaled some more. Got a little bit oversized into 670s. It flushed into 640s. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. This is going to speed up. And then whoop, right back. I didn't take any off. I respected my 720 stop, even though I was a bit over 1R. And then this morning, we got that pullback, double bottom, and I'm like, I'm done fighting this thing. So I would have lost on these ads here through those 670s, but I would have made on those 697 entries. So all in all, not really a great trade. It came out slightly green on it, but unfortunately didn't work the way I was hoping. Same kind of thing with MVTS. Was looking good, flush, round and over versus VWAP. I'm short, adding, covered into 610s, like maybe a fifth, and then V-shape recovery. Stopped me out again. So I'm just on the... Oh, that was a weird noise. I don't know what the heck that was. So I've been on the right side with a bunch of these like initially, and then just getting V-shape recovered, like grinded back on, and it's driving me nuts. So hopefully Caramel continues to trend. I can touch on CoreWeave here. We got this multi-day higher low trend that failed right there, so I was leaning on it through 160s. Right through here, I was short through the 160s breakdown. Started to bounce, but it was higher low, higher low, higher low. And then once we got the lower high, I added again, moved risk to that new level. And then right over here, we got this little VWAP exhaust. I added some more into close. Was a bit uneasy with the pop this morning, but respecting my stop. And big picture idea to me was the more that this pops, people are trying to bounce this name and force a long trade on it. So people are trying to force a bounce trade on it each day. And then each time it fails to bounce and fails to push higher, then it starts to roll over, and that's just more people bagged and on the wrong side. So I like to see it when it pushes and then inevitably fails. Now we're right on this little support here in the 150s, and if that gives way, I think we can pull into these 120s in the near term. The 20 SMA is sitting right here at 150, 151. So if it can take out today's lows tomorrow, I think it could get a little waterfall action. But we will see. Continuing to swing that one. So Hood. This one's probably a notable mention here. If you recall a couple weeks ago, right here, this big wild action here in after hours was the anticipation of being added to the S&P, which it didn't and got smoked, and then still continued higher from there. That week open got absorbed and went higher, and then today they were looking into it again, whatever you want to call it, and again did not get added to the S&P, which was the reason for this. And I think the volume that's been coming in here, I feel like now that they were almost appealing it for a second time, that traders were expecting it to be added. And what does that little logo mean? Top fans. Jeff is a #1 fan of the channel. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that means, but I feel like Jeff should win something other than that little badge. I will answer your question once I finish my comments here. But we got some volume coming in here the last few days with some range expansion, some topping tails on those daily bars. Each time it pushes up into this 100 range, it gets rejected. Chris over in IU, Lancelotti, he was making some comments on how the options are working, that calls might have to get dumped into Thursday, especially over the long weekend. There's a bunch of 100 strikes going off, and if this does not build over 100, they will expire worthless. So we could get a little unwind due to options with these, and I think that's a notable watch, especially given the run up into the catalyst and then the ultimate fail there in after hours that a lot of traders didn't get what they were looking for. So I think that one's a notable watch. Any thoughts on Bull? I saw Michelle, Offshore Hunter, on Twitter talking about this one. It's just so far off of its daily highs that I think if you're looking to play breakouts, I think that there's other better opportunities. Strong names that are near their all-time highs or recent daily highs. I've never really been a fan of trying to bottom bounce these on like shorter term breakouts when the bigger picture just has so much bag holders overhead. So that would be my thoughts on that one, and I don't really have too much interest in playing it. Circle continues to fade. This one is also kind of like CoreWeave, not participating in the SPY bounce. So those ones continue to get sold. Caramel we went over. VOR, I was looking for this one for a first red day, and then it failed yesterday. So I didn't really have too much interest in it. We got a straight up spike that I was looking to possibly fade, but it started to build over VWAP, so I wasted those borrows and ended up not trading it. Did round trip by close, and these daily candles are not the most bullish looking. So if this starts to fail sub 140s under here, it probably gets hit, and maybe they release those warrants and get like a liquidation day out of it. So we'll see how it reacts off these 140s. If it fails under there, I could see myself leaning into it and looking for like a sub 1 pull. We will see. GNS, 3 topping days right off of 150, and the further you look left, the more it makes sense with this other big volume day. Right over here, and it continues to top there. Hasn't had the best history of breakouts, a bit choppy, but I'm continuing to monitor just in case it does break 150s and get going. But no position currently, we will see. BMNR, nothing for me to trade on that one at this moment, especially after it went red and couldn't go any lower. Arlo, still waiting for this one to pick a direction. SONN, monster move today. No plan on it, just a big one-day runner. LAXT. This one hit scan here as a multi-day runner, but zooming into an intradaily, just not super extended. So if this were to continue higher, then I might get interested. It is starting to extend 60 cents up to 240 percentage wise, but the way it got there just isn't super interesting just yet. So yeah, that's about all I got. What do you think of Caramel and ABAT? Caramel I went over. I'm currently still swinging this. I had bought some on this day and then added to that position through the 360 break today. We'll add one more time through those 380s, and I think potential in my mind is like 455 would be like my sell targets, but currently still holding my position. Hasn't broken its prior day's lows since it started to uptrend here. So we will see. This last breakout failed, so not super high hopes until it gets over 380s. And then ABAT. This one does not sound familiar. Yeah, kind of the same kind of thing as Bull, where you've got this little breakout here, but the further you look left, there's just a ton of overhead resistance. If this were to run for multiple days, I'd be much more interested in the short into looking left levels than I am looking to long it. There's just way too much volume stuck overhead. What's my idea on volume? Because you see stocks with 2 mil vol, but it still runs. My theory with vol is I like trading names with high relative volume to what they usually trade. So something like Caramel only traded 5 million shares today, but it's traded like even 5 million shares. If you look left, it hasn't traded that until it started to churn volume down here. So that's kind of where I guess that would be the answer to your question. That's my idea and my theory on volume, as I like trading it when it's relatively high to the name at hand, not so much a volume threshold on a strict quantitative basis. But I also am not trading names that are 500k shares on the day because one, it doesn't take much volume to either get stuck or move the name, and that also shows that there's not a ton of interest in that name, and I want to be where there's volatility and volume because that's where traders' attention are. That's where volatility comes in. You're taking advantage of other traders' emotions. And I've just accepted that I'm not going to catch every stock that runs. So if there's one on low liquidity that runs, then and I miss it, then so be it. I'm not trying to catch every mover. D-Dog got added to the S&P. Whoa. What else? What else? What else? Which trade are you talking about, N? I had a bunch of trades yesterday. Just specify which ticker, please. Yeah, you're talking long multi-day. I'm just curious which stock you're talking, which ticker. Because I don't like there's details and minutia into certain stocks that I'm trading. I just don't buy them all in a vacuum. Just curious. This Palantir, I feel like, could be a decent opportunity for a scalp. I don't love that little wick, though. I didn't see that. It doesn't look as clean there. It looked a bit better on that daily, but... No comment, N? I don't know which stock you're asking the question on. One more question. The trade you took yesterday, can you explain your exit? I took about 6 or 7 trades yesterday. I feel like Mogo could be like one of those quiet ideas as well. FTech, little breakout. There's no volume really. Mogo, I feel like it could be. Doesn't really have a lot of history. Just this day, and then didn't really do much for quite a few days. It's still up 90%. I don't know. I used to track these day twos, stocks that close below their open on day one, but were still up like 50% by close. And I started tracking them for a day two short. I called them day two baggies. And I had mixed results with them. Some of them fade, and then some of them just illiquidly chop sideways. Just not a ton of meat because they usually gap. On VOR. VOR, I tried it short yesterday, I believe. I traded this breakout here through the 126s. Because again, higher relative volume to what it's traded in the past. So it was breaking out through this high right here. So I bought through 126, risked 110, which was low a day. And then I sold into R multiples. So I was risking, call it about 15 cents. So I sold my first piece into 30 cents, which was like 157. And then I sold my next piece into 3R, which was 170. And then I took the rest off here into the close, into the 160s. We got a slight gap up, faded. Red prior close on that day was 162, which was right here. So off of open, we pull and go red. This is the first time going red in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Figured red was a good enough trend shift to try it out. And I could go to the 1 minute, I guess. So keep in mind, 162 was prior close. So it pulls, and it's topping and topping and topping. I'm short all in here versus red to green, and I got stopped out right through here for a small loss. Then it kept going higher, so I was excited for the eventual short, and ended up round tripping that day, so I didn't touch it. I was looking at this parabolic, ideally for it to fail to follow through, maybe a shove up into those 170s, 180s. and it just started to consolidate in trend versus VWAP, so I wasn't super interested there. But those are my trades on it. Had the same trade for entry, but I had a poor exit on the 30th. Yep, that's right. So we had this morning spike, pullback, higher low, high day break that lined up with the multi-day level at 126. So I just objectively bought the 126, set a stop at low a day, and set it and forget it. And in order for a positive expected value on breakouts, given that they are about a 40 to 50% win rate, to have a positive expected value, you need your risk reward on that setup to be greater than a 1-to-1 in order for it to be profitable. So in this case, I set objective targets as multiples of my R value. So if I'm long at 126, risking 110-ish, I'm risking 15 cents. So 30 cents is a 2-to-1, which is right up here. At 45 cents, which is up here, is a 3-to-1. And then just took the rest off into close there. That's how I traded it. Entries and exits. I didn't swing it overnight just because of their 700 million warrants priced at a penny. Makes me uneasy. So, that's all I've got for tomorrow. A few names on watch. A couple little trade reviews there. But I will wrap it up there. I hope you guys have a great long weekend, those of you in the States. And I will see you guys back here next week. Take it easy, guys. Peace.